Wristbands.
When you are admitted to a hospital, they place on your wrist a white wristband with your name on it. But there are other different colored wristbands which symbolize other things. The red wristbands are placed on the dead people.
There was one surgeon who worked on night shift in a school hospital. He had just finished an operation and was on his way down to the basement. He entered the elevator, and there was just one person there. He casually chatted with the woman while the elevator descended. When the elevator door opened, another woman was about to enter when the doctor slammed the close button and punched the button to the highest floor. Surprised, the woman reprimanded the doctor for being rude and asked why he did not let the other woman in. The doctor said, "That was the woman I just operated on. She died while I was doing the operation. Didn't you see the red wristband she was wearing?" The woman smiled, raised her arm, and said, "Something like this?" Sisters and Beasts. Mrs. Kilbride smoothed the sheets on her daughter's bed and took a seat. She placed the little hatchet underneath the left side of the bed, underneath the older girl, Mercy. It glinted silver in the moonlight. The girls shivered despite their blankets. They watched their mother with eyes that managed to be both downcast and expectant. It was All Hallows' Eve, and every year Miss Kilbride regaled Mercy and Bridget with the story of the family curse.
When the Kilbrides first came to the New World,
She started.
we brought things from the Old World with us. Things that don't go in sacks or carts.
Her voice was as smooth and calm as a lake in early morning.
As far back as the family goes, we've always had a curse. Something lurks in the dark, and it follows us no matter where we go. We can't run or hide from it. We came to the New World to escape it, but that wasn't far enough. Every year at this time, a Kilbride has to fight the beast that stalks us. Otherwise, the beast will take one of us with it into the dark and welcome them into its unholy circle.
Mrs. Kilbride planted a kiss on Bridget's forehead, then Mercy's. Through tears, she whispered,
"I'm sorry to put this burden on you, my dears."
She gathered her skirts and left the room without another word, her head bowed. Mercy lay in the dark, breathing slowly. She knew she was expected to fight the creature that had plagued her family for centuries. She'd sung songs and recited the names of the Kilbrides lost to the monster since she was a child. Usually, it targeted the youngest child, the weakest and slowest. The oldest child was responsible for keeping the beast from taking anyone else. Just last year, the beast had taken their infant cousin Alma, after destroying her aunt and uncle's cabin. Hours passed. Mercy couldn't sleep. She let her hand dangle to the floorboards and lightly touched the cold metal of the hatchet. She wouldn't let anything happen to her family or her home. She would kill the beast, or one of them, this year. She was sure of that. It made her heart sick, but she would do what was necessary. When she started finding dead animals in every month, she knew. When she started catching Bridget washing blood and dirt from her hands, she knew. Mercy knew more than her parents or anyone else in the Kilbride family. Her sister shuddered in the dark, breaking the silence. A muffled ripping sound filled the room as fur sprang from Bridget's skin. Her teeth lengthened and sharpened, and her nose elongated into a snout. A tear fell down Mercy's cheek as she tightened her grip on the hatchet. Humans scare me. I'm having trouble paying attention to the pretty brunette sitting in front of me at the bar. I think I heard her say that her name was Stacy or something like that, but honestly my mind is on other things like, what is she thinking? She seems nice, sure, but what if she is this complete psycho who picks up guys to dismember them back at her apartment? I saw a story in the news about a man who met a woman on Tinder on the second date. She lured him back to her apartment where 4 men ambushed him and killed him. This was the second date, mind you. One would have thought that maybe, just maybe, he could have figured something was wrong on the first date, but unfortunately for him, he did not. Then there was a story about that one newlywed pastor killing his gorgeous wife. They had dated for a number of years before getting married, and from an outside perspective, this only seemed but the start of a perfect little Christian family. Until the man snapped and stabbed his wife 57 times. Every day you can find similar stories of people meeting their unexpected demise at the hands of friends, neighbors, or even their closest loved ones. Honestly, people scare me. They scheme. They harbor resentments for years until those feelings rot them from the inside out, and they lash out at the cause of the resentment. Sometimes it is simpler than that, and somebody is at the wrong place at the wrong time, finds themselves at the wrong end of a barrel. Everything on this planet is pretty easy to understand. People, not so much. This fear may explain why my therapist thinks I have trouble connecting with people. My therapist suggests that I get out there and get to know people that maybe will help me interact better with strangers. Fuck all that noise. I like things to be as neat, orderly, and black and white as possible. That is why I tailed Stacy for a week straight, to get to know what she did in her off hours, what her habits and hobbies are. That is how I know that Stacy is pretty new to the city, so she lives alone and doesn't have any friends yet who her family could contact if she was to go missing. It's how I know that what kind of drinks she likes. So when I approached her with her favorite drink in hand and my most charming one-liner, she was a bit hesitant, but in the end she couldn't resist what I was offering. In a few minutes, she should be feeling the effects of the drug I spiked her drink with, and I will gallantly volunteer to take her home. I guarantee you the police will never find her or be able to implicate me for that matter. You see, people really do scare me. But what my therapist doesn't realize is that the reason is that, deep down, I feel that everyone is just like me.
Crime by Val McDermott.
Oh, I read that too.
Yeah, they have it in a lot of high schools around.